Welcome back to part two. Although I'm very happy with the finish right now, it's still only one coat and it really doesn't need wet sanding, but there are some areas that I'd like to smooth out a little bit more. So what I have is just a regular squirt bottle with just regular water and a couple drops of Dawn soap to provide some level of lubrication when you're sanding. And then I have a sanding block, and I'm going to be using 220 wet sandpaper. And I'm going to lightly go over that, wipe it down, clean it up again with acetone, and then apply the second coat of paint. And that's all it's going to require. So another great day for painting. The sun finally came out. It was a little chilly this morning, expected on a fall day in Maine. However, I'm going to be going ahead with the final coat. It's all it's going to require for this quick cleanup, and I'm going to use a roll and tip method like I did on the first coat, and this should go on cleanly. Now, what I did on the first coat was I covered more area than I tipped that. What you're going to see me doing on this second coat is really doing shorter patches with the roller and then tipping that immediately. Due to the fact that it is warm, a little warm, I just want to really blend and have no seams at all. And so short passes, maybe 2 feet sections, tip it, 2 feet section, tip it, and continue that process throughout the entire hole. Okay, so the hull's been painted. That's all done. Now it's time to work on the top side gunnels. I'm going to be using 120 grit. I'm going to be using the orbital sander for this. It's going to be much quicker. I'm just going to gently take off this top coat. A lot of the wear and tear is from paddle strikes against the outside of the gunnels and just normal wear and tear. So I'm going to smooth it all out and then apply some Gleam 2.0, and this should shine again. It's looking pretty good. So the gunnels have been sanded, cleaned up real nice, real light. You don't want to remove too much material, and especially with this canoe because these gunnels are epoxied on to the cedar strip at the shear line. So you can only sand it so many times. This is a 5-year-old boat, so this is really the first time that I've taken off all the varnish. I've basically just hand scuffed it and then reapplied spar varnish, but this time I wanted to take it all down, brighten up the boat again, and so that's what I did. But if you're going to be doing this at home, it's not something you want to do every year. You just want to lightly scuff the gunnels and then reapply. Or a lot of people will oil too. I considered that originally, but I like the looks of varnish more so, a little bit more shine, and for aesthetic purposes, personal preference again. So everybody is different. People can use oil, you can use varnish, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to be applying Gleam 2.0 by Total Boat, but prior to that, and I'll be applying that with a foam brush, but prior to that I'm going to be going around with this towel and just cleaning up any remaining dust. I've cleaned the interior of the boat. It is a windy day, so I don't want any dust in my varnish finish, in my final finish. So I cleaned it up, and now I'm going to be just using acetone, giving it a quick wipe down, and then I'll get right into the varnishing. Here it is. Fall maintenance is complete on the Wabnaki canoe. Normally I just take down, slightly sand the gunnels and then reapply varnish. In this case though, I took all the varnish off the gunnels, painted the underside of the gunnels, and then applied 3 coats of varnish to the top side, the outside and the inside of the gunnels. It needed it because the paddles, sometimes when I get tired paddling, sometimes I'll drag the paddle along the gunnel and then it braided the surface, so that needed cleaning up. And you know, with ash lumber, sometimes it gets some of those mold spores, little black spots, so I cleaned those up as well. And ultimately, the entire canoe got a bath. I sanded down the exterior of the hull, applied 2 coats of paint, and rolled and tipped that, so it came out to a nice finish. And the canoe was ready for another trip. Normally, this canoe would be going into storage, but due to the considerably nice weather we're having here in New England, it's going to be used very soon on a trip with my daughter. So, you know, another reason to make it look real nice for her and everything else. So, thanks for following along. This is maintenance that can be done by anybody, and it's recommended actually. This only took me maybe 6 hours total, but 2 days because I had a delay because of rain and whatever else. But if you just do these simple things year after year, you're gonna have a canoe looking as good as new for a very long time. And it's just simple maintenance items that'll keep it looking fresh, maintain the integrity of the wood, and you'll paddle it forever. So thanks for following along, and stay tuned for the next one. It's gonna be another canoe trip coming right up. Have a great day.